Yeah, it's CC, CEO. Wanna change your life? Come see me, yo. I'ma teach you how to build up wealth for your family, not just for yourself. I'm a bestseller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a goal builder. I can teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychology black on firm, but we ain't all black.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl, Constance Carter. And this is the Grow Your Money Club, where we talk about how to grow your money and not blow your money. Because if you blow your money, what happens, y'all? Ain't a damn thing funny. So today we're going to talk about Miss Tabitha Brown. Tabitha Brown, she says something that stirred up a lot of controversy, and I want to break it down, but I also want to give you some solutions because I try to be solution oriented every time I come here. I don't want to just talk to you about something that is a controversy, or, because it may be controversial to you. It may not be controversial to you, but a lot of people were up in arms about Tabitha Brown telling entrepreneurs, and they need to go out there and get their asses some jobs. And I've been an entrepreneur well over 20 years. And I'll tell you that it's not very easy to life to sustain. And there's some certain core key principles that you got to have if you want to be an entrepreneur. We're going to talk about it. But before we do, I see y'all already coming in. So make sure you come in, my friends. This is the Grow Your Money Club. And listen, so the way this works, a couple of things. This is a dialogue and not a monologue. Okay. So what does that mean? That means I want you to talk back to me and talk black to me. Two ways. One way you could do it, you could jump on here live with me. You don't have to get on camera, but you could jump on live. We could dialogue, so you can, give me your opinion. I want to talk to you. I want to know what your opinion is. So you can hop on. You ain't got to turn on your camera if you don't want to turn on your camera, but let's talk. Let's rap. Okay. Back to .com, and I'd love to have you on here talking live with me. Okay, so if you want to come on here live, you can go to talkblack2me.com, and you can get on here and you could discuss your opinion. I would love to hear what you have to say about that. Go to talkblack2me. All right. So first of all, Anthony already know what it is. So for everybody, if this is your first time here, oh my God, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining me. I love talking to new people. I love introducing people to, just the things that I got to say. So if it's your first time, please tell me if it's your first time. Okay. So I want to put that in the comments and let me know that it's your first time watching me. All right. And I want you to continue watching me, and I want you to subscribe to all the channels that I'm on. So if you're somewhere and you might be the only person on that stream watching, there might be 500 on another stream. So I'm on several channels, several YouTube channels. I'm on Dr. Boyce's Black Excellence channel. I'm on the Fly Nubian Queen channel, and I'm on I Am Constance Carter on YouTube. So please go to all of those different YouTubes and make sure you subscribe to my channel, okay? Especially I Am Constance Carter. And you could also follow me everywhere at I Am Constance Carter. Let's see if this thing works. You can also follow me everywhere at I Am Constance Carter. Oh, by the way, so anywhere you want to see me live, there we go. I am Constance Carter. All right. And again, this is a dialogue, not a monologue. So I love for you to talk black to me. So you can come in here live and let's have a conversation. Let's rap. And let's, if you have questions, maybe you want answers. The other day on Monday, I had somebody hop on with me, which was real cool. She didn't get on camera, but she was telling me that she had been unemployed, and we just kind of talked about that a little bit. And so that was pretty cool. I think her name was Cam. It was Cam. So if you're watching, Cam, shout out to you. I enjoyed the conversation that we had on Monday. And if you want to come on here, if anybody wants to come on here, come to Talk Black to Me, and you can hop on here and if you have any questions or whatever. But if you don't, please put in the chat, because again, this is interactive. So I want to make sure that I know where you're watching from, because I want to shout you out. I know we have people that watch from all over the world. So this conversation is so important that people watch from all over the world. So I see you, Tamisha. From the Mile High City of Denver. Lovely JR, the normal regular on here. She's from Seattle, Washington. I see Anthony from North Carolina. Who else is on here? And the other thing, last but not least, I want you to, if you are a Black-owned business, if you know a Black-owned business, this is muy importante, people, muy importante. Put it in the chat, put it in the comments, because it's very important, especially since we're talking about entrepreneurship. But it's very important that we support Black-owned businesses. I don't know if you know that only we have $2 trillion of spending power. Only 2% of our money is spent in our communities. If we were a country, we would be the fourth largest country. Our GDP is that of bigger than Spain. So Black people, we have plenty of spending power. It's important that we spend with each other. Here's a problem. Less than 3% of Black people or businesses in Black communities are Black owned. So we don't have businesses on the scale that other people do. So it's kind of hard for us to do business with each other. So that's the reason why I always stress for the entrepreneurs to put their information in the chat, so we can make sure that we support Black businesses, because it is extremely hard. And that's why I really want to talk about this topic today, because entrepreneurship is not easy. Business ownership is not easy. And then you want to be a serial entrepreneur on top of that. And being a serial entrepreneur, I don't even believe in being a serial entrepreneur. I hate that term personally. I think it sounds really schizophrenic when people say I'm a serial entrepreneur. They think it makes them sound so like I have all these things going on. But it's kind of like I don't know if y'all ever watched Papa Bloom. Does anybody ever watch Papa Bloom? When they be like, I'm a bartender, I'm a real estate agent, I'm a social media influencer. That's a serial entrepreneur, and nobody has a business. And so I am a business owner, and I own a business. So I built the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California. I have a business. I coach Black women from all over the country, now the world. I have a business, and I have multiple businesses. I'm not a serial entrepreneur. I focused on one thing. And we're going to talk about that, and then got good at that, and then expanded it. And that's what we need to do. And that's where a lot of people lose focus. Okay. So I just want to shout all my good people out. I see Isaac from South Carolina. I see Kiasha from Gulfport, Mississippi in the building. I see Regina from Colorado. What's up, Regina? Keisha. This is Kiasha from, okay. So this is your business. Thank you for putting your business in there. So other thing, Keisha, is it Keisha or is it Kaisha? Y'all be real fancy with these names, Keisha. Is it Keisha or is it Kaisha? What we saying? But Keisha, you have a business. So it's Luxbridge Solutions. What is it? Where can we find it? Okay. So how do we reach your business? Because not only, I don't want you to just put it on here because we want to say, hey, Black-owned business, we want to do business with you. We want to spend money with you. We want to help you build. I don't know if you know, but there was an article in Forbes magazine back in 2017 that said by the year 2053, the Black median wealth was going to be at zero if we continued on the same pattern, the same trajectory. Okay. I don't believe that. I did a TED Talk. It's called Google That Shit. And I don't know if you've seen it, but it's really one of the best TED Talks I've ever done or I've ever seen, to be honest with you. I mean, I've seen, I've seen TED Talks, and I've seen some really great TED Talks, but my TED Talk called Google That Shit. If you want to Google that shit, go Google Constance Carter TEDx. And it is a really great TED Talk. It has over 400,000 views, 450,000 views. And it was really, really, really good. But I talk about that. That was my thesis, I would say. And so I talk about, I don't believe that that's true. I believe that they done fucked around and gave us internet. And oh, by the way, if you don't like cursing, I'm sorry, but I curse and I love the Lord. But they gave us internet. They gave us AI. What does that mean? I believe that's the great equalizer. They cannot stop us. They can't keep us back. You can't keep burning down our towns. What you can do is you can attack us by eliminating jobs, by that's what they're trying to do. They can't burn down our towns anymore, but we can go in and we can see where Black people are prospering the most, and we can cut them off there. And that's the reason why entrepreneurship is so important. It's the reason why being business owners is so important. So I want you to put your business, and Keisha, if you want to come on here, come to talkblacktomeme.com, and you want to come on here and you want to introduce a little bit, say a little something about your business, I'd love to talk to you. So if anybody wants to get on here and talk Black to me today, hop on here, and if you have questions, we can talk live. Just don't come on here saying no dumb shit, y'all. Don't come on here saying no dumb shit. What's up, Tisa? Tisa is in East Point, Georgia at the moment. And Tisa is also, she's a real estate agent with Catalyst Real Estate Professionals. She's also in the Net 7 Nation. I'm super proud of her. And you know what? So Net 7 Collective, I don't know if you guys know about the Net 7 Collective, Net 7 Nation, but this is a program where I coach Black women from all over the country, Net 7 Collective. So I started doing that after I moved to the East Coast, and I was kind of just, I built this really great business, and I took a 2-year break from business. And I said, what do I really want to do in this iteration of my life? And thankfully, I had other revenue streams coming in. I had other investments and assets that allowed me to just step back from the business for a little bit. And Net 7 Collective was just my passion project. It was my purpose with helping Black women. And so one of the things that really makes me proud, I know that, people see me on the internet and people don't know me. They just see what they see and they don't really know who Constance Carter is. And people take a chance when they join my program. You take a chance. If you listen to me, you're taking a chance. You don't know me. You don't know what I live, how I live. You don't know none of that stuff. You don't know nothing about Constance Carter. But what makes me really proud is people like Tisa, or just my friends that I grew up with when I was young. They watched me up close and personal. They know who I am every single day, right? So they see me. A lot of my friends see me with the sheets on the curtains, on the windows. They saw me. They saw me with my Datsun B310. They saw me with the Ford Windstar minivan when I was driving clients and my door would fly open and my clients was trying to hold on for dear life to stay in the damn car. They saw me when I was struggling, when I had an ashy ass Sunfire, and they seen me rise to, a certain level. They seen the investments and they're like, yeah, we want to mess with you. We really want you to mentor us. So it's easy for people on the outside, looking in. Oh, everything looks pretty. Everything looks polished. You look like you got something. But when you have people who've seen you up close and personal, that's what really makes me proud, is that people want to join that know who I am, and they really want to rock with me. So that says a lot for me, but anyway, shout out to you, Tisa. What's up, Nicole Nichols? Nicole, thank you. Nicole, listen, Nicole's another friend of mine. She don't play about me. She said, don't get on here talking crazy. She bring you on. Nicole don't play. That's my good sis. She's in, where are you? You in Tracy or Manteca? I sold her house. We went to church together. I see Isaac Gary has a lawn service. Where are you located? How do we do business with you? Isaac, I need a little bit more information on your job. I don't want to just know, or your company. I don't want to just know that you have a lawn service, but where do we do business with you? Okay. All right. What's up, Christina? All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. But, before we do, I do want to tell you a little bit about, because I was just kind of talking about the Net 7 Nation and Net 7 Collective, and Net 7 Nation is now open. And I want to just share a little bit about what it is that we are doing. Where do I have Net 7 Nation? Where do I have? I did a video the other day. Here, let me do this. Let me see which one I want to show y'all. I'm going to show y'all a new one. All right. I just want to show you a little bit about Net 7 Nation and what it is that we're doing in the community, why I came up, how Black women, there's 300,000 Black women that have lost their jobs are really going to make history. And that's what I'm really excited about. So they gonna fuck around and find out for real. But in the meantime, we got to build something together. There's this African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, you got to go together. And that's what the Net 7 Collective is about. That's what the Net 7 Nation is about. It's about us collaborating, us building, us growing, us sharing, all the things. So let me share my screen real quick so y'all can see just a little bit about what it is that we doing. Share screen. Right here. I'll do this right here. And hey, thank you guys for, okay, hold on. I've been blessed to make history before. My team and I at Catalyst Real Estate Professionals built the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California. And that wasn't just business, that was legacy. And as proud as I am of that accomplishment, I can tell you this, what we're doing with Net 7 Collective and Net 7 Nation is going to be even bigger. Because just like Catalyst was built by a powerful team, this movement is being built by powerful women all over the world, linking arms, sharing resources, and rewriting history together. We're building a movement that's going to change the trajectory of our families and communities across the globe. Here's how we're going to make history.
We will close the wealth gap by equipping women with strategies that create seven-figure net worths. We're creating communities of collaboration where women don't just compete, they build, they share, and they multiply opportunities together. We're investing in the next generation, showing our daughters and our sons that wealth is their birthright and it's not a privilege. We're launching Net 7 chapters across the nation and across the world with leaders who are committed to grassroots impact right where people live. We're redefining what wealth looks like. It's not just about money. It's health, mindset, spirit, and community. Whole life abundance. We're rewriting history by building something that's designed to last generations long after us. It's not just a program. This is a nation, a movement, a revolution. And when people look back, they'll say Catalyst was big, but Net 7 was world changing.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're interested in joining Net 7 Nation, please go to net7nation.com. This is a movement. This is a grassroots movement where we are really literally making history as Black women. So as you see all of these layoffs and all the things that we're going to talk about today, I look at problems, and I've seen this problem long before with just Net 7 Collective. I made Net 7 Collective. So that's my inner circle, right? So the Net 7 Collective these are the ladies that I coach. These are the ladies I talk to every week. And it was a 3-month program that I would teach them all these concepts, and they would do some amazing things in the world. And when the administration came in, I was looking at what he was doing, especially with DEI and all the things. And I saw this attack on Black women. And I said, you know what? I'm going to make Net 7 Collective a continuum. What does that mean? It doesn't end. For the people who are in my inner circle, it doesn't end. They pay one amount and it doesn't end. So I coach them ongoing throughout. So I've had over 80 women who are inside this collective and who are just doing extraordinary things. I mean, they're making millions of dollars in government contracts. Some of them, they have started businesses, they started podcasts, they've written books, they've done all of these amazing things, bought land, investing in stock, all of those things. And so this is my commitment to Black women. I love it. And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to expand it to Black women all over the world and just on a grassroots level so that we could do things locally with Black women. And so that's where the Net 7 Nation came in. And but the Net 7 Collective, the reason why I made it a continuum is because I saw what was going on. And that was, I saw the writing on the wall. And so with the Net 7 Nation, again, 300,000 Black women losing their jobs. Okay, here's a problem. What's the solution? What's the solution? And for me, that was a solution of how we can just change the world together. This is not about me, Constance Carter, at all. This is about us working together to change the trajectory of our families and our communities. That's what this is about. So this conversation about Tabitha Brown, what Tabitha Brown said is right on time. What do you guys think? I'm going to ask you guys in the chat. Do you think she was wrong by telling entrepreneurs to get a job? I want to poll you guys. So before I show you the video, she tells entrepreneurs to get a job. Do you think that's a right thing to say, or do you think that's the wrong thing to say? Is that the right message or the wrong message? Let me ask you guys that. So put in the chat, is Tabitha Brown telling entrepreneurs to get a job? Is that the right message that she should be sending, or is that the wrong message? So I want to see what you guys have to say. Go ahead and put it in the chat. Is that the right message or is it the wrong message? Come on, what do you say? It's 500 people on here watching live. What do you have to say? Is it the right message or is this the wrong message? Tabitha Brown telling people that they needed to get a job, or telling entrepreneurs that they should get a job. Is that the right message or wrong message? Come on. Where y'all at? Wake up. Is this thing on? Is my mic on? Is that the right message? Okay. Y'all coming in. Okay, it's just a little slow. All right. The message was for whoever received it. So was it the right message or was it the wrong message? Go Fatima said, wrong. Job is not the only alternative. Okay. Leroy said it's not right or wrong. It's an option. And I think you meant opinion. Sounded like someone owed her some money. And she told him, go out there, you can get your ass a job. Was there more context to what she said? Okay, let's talk about the context. Let's look at the video.
Okay.
hello there. Real quick, that this is not to discourage you, because I want us to be clear about that first. Okay. You kind of been in this place for a long time. Okay. Now listen, you got good ideas, baby. You got good ideas. Your execution is not as good. Okay. Your follow through, not as good. The ideas though are great. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody, and that doesn't mean it's not for you. But right now, these last few months, few years, you know what I'm talking about. Baby, it ain't been working for you. Okay, and you doing a lot of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay, you done got yourself in some mess, and it's time for you to get a job. You hear me? You just gonna need to get a job for a little while. Okay, it don't mean your ideas ain't good. Okay, it don't mean that maybe one day you could be a good entrepreneur. But you have proven to yourself and everybody else that you owe money to, okay, that it ain't working right now. Okay, it ain't worked for a while. It actually has never worked yet. Doesn't mean it won't ever work. But right now you need to go to work. You're gonna need to get a job, okay? And then keep working towards it, but at least you'll have a job while you are pursuing that thing. But right now, you need to get a job, baby. All right? That's it. I love you. Now go about your business, okay? Have a good night. Tomorrow, have a good day. But even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's him. Don't be mad at me.
And boy, was people mad at her. So Maria Milhouse says, sound like somebody owed her some money. Does it sound like to you? So now, okay, so before she came on there, you said, Dee Dee said, it's good advice to the people she's describing. It's just not the advice for every entrepreneur. Pam said, preach. And Nicole said, what? The delivery, but hey, it was meant for somebody. You think it was meant for somebody, in particular, somebody that kept borrowing money? Okay. So here are some of the I can't put them on the screen, but here's some of the comments some negative comments that I seen. Okay. Message was heard, clear, and needed. However, the timing is way off with 300,000 plus educated Black women out of a job in the U.S. Entrepreneurship while bussing tables plus delivering DoorDash, etc., is the only option for many at this time. Right message, wrong time. What do you think? Somebody else said, imagine somebody telling you this when you first started out, because I'm sure your business nor brand was an overnight success. You probably had many nights of crying and begging God to make a way before you got to where you are. For you to take all those blessings and tell the same people who are where you once stood, get a job is so odd. What do you think about that? And oh, by the way, if you want to come on here live with me, go to talkblack2me.com and come on here and let's discuss, let's dialogue. So if you want to come on here, you don't got to get on camera. We could just hear your voice only. That's totally fine. But we could dialogue if you want to come on here and talk to me. All right. So then somebody else said over 300,000 Black women were fired from their jobs this year alone. And it's only August. None of this was nice, helpful, or positive. I feel like you're mocking other Black women, forgetting that you're a Black woman too, and the world is mocking all of us. I don't get the point of all this. What are you talking about? And then finally, somebody said, ma'am, have you seen the hellscape we living in? Do better. You're rich. Create some job programs for Black youth. Create a scholarship for Black folks returning to school. Help fund accessible job training programs. You have power. Do something with it besides talking down to people who are suffering. So that's what some people said. Some people were pretty. What's up, Double A? What's up, Deborah Will Win? I see y'all. Some of my faves up in the building. Deborah Will Win said, jobs build character. Lovey JR said money is owed and payments to investors are due. A job is an option. All right. So listen, my daughter came home. So last year, or maybe the year before last, my daughter wanted to sell hair full time. And I mean, when I tell you, my baby did everything that she could to sell hair. She did everything that she could. She had a website, she did photo shoots, she was at pop-ups, she was doing all the things. And it just didn't work out. Like, she just was not selling hair because it was a market that was really saturated. So she got a job. And so she also got her real estate license too. So during that time, she was unemployed, and she was getting her real estate license here. She was already licensed in California, but she was getting her license in Maryland. So she finally got her real estate license, and she also has right now, while she's building her real estate business, now my baby's closing deals and everything. So I'm really proud of her, but it's not enough to sustain her at this very moment. So she has a job, and last week she came in, she was like, I'm just gonna quit because these people get on her nerve. I'm gonna quit. And I'm like, and do what? And do what? And she was like, I'm just going to work on I'm going to focus on my business. I was like, the hell you ain't. Absolutely not. I was like, girl, if you don't, I said, first of all, you're not supposed to like this job because you are born to be an entrepreneur. There's something else that you want to do in your life, but you need to be able to fund that thing. You need to be able to live. Because if you quit your job, guess who's going to be supporting your ass? Me. You already using my electricity. She don't pay no rent. She also has an investment property that she gets paid money from. So that's a great thing, right? But mama gonna have to basically take care of you. And mama's not gonna take care of you because I got 2 boys in college that I pay their rent and I pay their tuition by myself because I pay for everything by myself. So I got 2 boys in college. I got 1 boy in high school that I got to take care of his senior year. Like, mama is everywhere, right? Mama's everything to everybody, plus a business and all the other things that come along with it. You can't quit your job, baby. It's not meant to be comfortable because you're not meant to be there. So I want you to stay there, and I want you to stay being uncomfortable because that's your motivation to work harder on your business. What I told her is, thank God you don't have no kids, because when I was your age, I had you. And thank God I had her father, right? Thank God I had a husband that was there to hold things down while I was out trying to figure things out when things got slim. It was feast or famine. And in the beginning, it's famine season in the beginning of your thing. And so you need something that's going to sustain you. So your job, which I understand what she's saying, can be your investor while you're building your business. So I don't think there was any harm. And it was so funny because I was talking to my, y'all got to see me and my daughter getting ready to come out with a podcast. I think the first episode is going to come out next week, and it's going to be great. It's going to be fun. The first episode, though, it was filmed after 8:00. She was like, "Mom, you weren't funny like your normal funny self." And I was like, "Listen, I am a morning person, anywhere between 5 a.m. and 1 p.m. prime time for me. Let me tell you something. I can get with the best of them." But I'm a woman of a certain age, and also I'm not a night owl. So after 6, it's a wrap for me. So we recorded the first one at 8. And so, I was given, but these are conversations that we're going to have. And so I always clown her. Right. So right before I got on here, I was telling her what I was going to talk about today. She said, "You know what, Mom, I'm so glad, thankful for my baby." She's like, "I'm so glad we had that conversation last week." Because it really made me realize, yeah, I do, this job, I know I complain about it all the time. However, it is motivating me to work on my real estate business, because I'm gonna tell you, for a minute, homegirl was outside. She's part of some party promotion thing. She was outside at parties all the time. She was, she had a couple of closings, and she outside. And I was like, okay, I'm telling her, hey, put your money aside, make sure you're working on your business. All this time that you promoting these parties, you need to be promoting your business. And then stuff got lean, and she's like, okay, Anyway, I was like, remember last year when you was fat, nappy headed in the basement, you ain't had no money. She was so mad at me. She was like, "You're terrible." I was like, "Your ass gonna be fat, nappy headed in the basement again." She was like, "Mom, I'm so glad I don't have low self-esteem, because if I had low self-esteem with you as a mom," I was like, "Don't quit that job. Your ass gonna be fat, nappy headed in the basement again." Talk about your life miserable. You better keep that goddamn job. She was like, "Nah, for real. I'm so glad that you told me that last week, because it is true." Girl, she was fat, nappy headed in the basement, y'all. She was. So it was true, because I need her to be uncomfortable. I need her to not be comfortable in the job. The moment you get comfortable in a job, then you lose sight of your dreams. The moment you start making a little bit of money, and you content and everything is going well, you become comfortable. You lose sight of your dreams. I know so many people who got laid off this year, and family members of mine that are sitting up there shocked and in awe because they lost their jobs. And I'm like, why did you not think that that was a possibility? That's the thing that's crazy to me. Why did you not think that it was a possibility that you could lose your job? At any given moment, you could lose your job. Do you know the guy who was the CEO of the insurance company, Luigi Kill? Do you know his job was on Indeed and on LinkedIn in 24 hours after that man lost his life? Nobody is exempt. At any given moment, these people could say that your services are no longer needed and you can lose your job. And so you cannot be dependent upon a job. You cannot be dependent on one revenue stream, right? So even you might be listen, Black women, we the most educated demographic in this country. And yet we've lost more jobs than anybody because we are depending on jobs to support us. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. So here's what I believe, okay? I believe everybody should have a side hustle. Everybody should be selling something. Boyce talks about this a lot. Everybody should be selling something. What should I be selling? You have intellectual property. There is something that you know that you do very well that people will pay you handsomely for. Think about what that is. Don't forget to add in the basement. I'm saying she is fat. My baby's beautiful. But there is something that you have that people will pay you handsomely for. And you should think about ways that you can monetize that. What can I do? How can I monetize this intellectual property that comes to me? It could be something that you have, or it could just be a side hustle. But what I'm telling you is, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't be so dependent on one thing. Even the Bible says in Ecclesiastes 11:2, said have 8 revenue streams because we never know when a disaster is going to strike. What happened in 2020? What happened in 2020? A disaster struck, COVID. Okay. A disaster could be a death in the family. Disaster for me in 2022 was a divorce where I lost $1 million. But thank God I had assets. I had properties. I had other revenue streams that was able to sustain me where I was able to take a little break for two years. I had multiple revenue streams because the disaster had struck in my land. So I need you guys, even if you have a job, you got to have something else that's bringing in revenue. However you're putting your money, however you're doing your savings. If you have a savings account, that savings account is not generating you any income. There's no way that you should be putting your money in a bank and the bank is making money off your money and you're not making money off your money. The bank, when you put your money in the bank gives you back on average 0.23% interest. So in 5 years, say you put $10,000 in the bank, and in 5 years, you've made $100 in interest on your money. And you know what they've done? They've taken your money and they put it in vehicles that generate compound interest, and they've made $1,500 from that same $10,000. That's not fair. So if you have any kind of savings and it's sitting in a bank, you need to put it in something, maybe a permanent life insurance policy, an IUL, maybe in a Roth IRA, in something that generates compound interest. Einstein said compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Those who know about it earn from it. Those who don't, they pay it. What side of the coin are you going to be on? We're all paying compound interest in our mortgages. We're paying compound interest in credit card bills. We're paying compound interest in different things in our life. When you look at the IRS, you owe the IRS, they're going to compound that interest and compound that interest on your ass. So we're all paying compound interest, but you also need to be earning from it. So Ray Kroc from McDonald's, the owner of McDonald's, McDonald's is not the business. The real estate is the business. He used compound interest. The Rockefellers, their legacy, their dynasty legacies are were built upon compound interest through life insurance, no less. That's a place that you can put your money where your money is working for you. Okay. So while you're building these side hustles, you have to have these side hustles or have something where you're selling. Let me give you some examples. I have some side hustles. So here's the thing too. Let me tell you this. Before you go out and try to have all these businesses and be a serial entrepreneur, I told you in the beginning, I hate the term serial entrepreneurship because it sounds to me very schizophrenic. Because it's like them kids, them young people on Pop the Balloon. I'm a real estate agent. I'm a bartender. I do hair on the side. Like they're all these things they ain't making. So really, you're a bartender and you braid hair on the side. Like, because you're not making money. If you're making money in real estate, you're not a bartender and you're not doing hair on the side. Okay. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I do all these things. What you do is you got your real estate license. Hey girl, but you ain't selling no real estate. And you're really doing hair on the side, doing hair, and you're a bartender. Okay. That's probably what it is. So if you are a business owner, I'm a business owner. I have multiple businesses. I am not a serial entrepreneur. That sounds real low budget to me, but that's just me. A lot of your gurus are saying, hey, I'm a serial entrepreneur. It sounds low budget to me. I don't know. But being a business owner, you got to get really good at one thing. So I've been in business for myself. So I didn't even start out. Okay. Let me tell you how I started out. Okay. So I don't know if you guys know about the cash flow quadrant. I've talked about this a lot of times on here. The cash flow quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. I started out as an entrepreneur. I mean, as a employee. I worked for HP. I was fortunate enough. I didn't go to college, got a PhD, public high school diploma. But when I was 18, while all my friends were away at college, I got kicked out of the house when I was 18. My dad got married and there was no more room for me. So I had to figure out how to make some shit shake. And so I was in my first apartment, and what I would do is Manpower. I don't know if y'all know Manpower, but Manpower is a temp agency. Manpower used to have these trainings, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. So I would go and did I have a car? I think I would take the bus to Manpower office to their training. They would have and it was like self-paced training. So I got really proficient in like Word and all these things. And so I got a job at HP, then I got a job at AT&T, then I got a job at Cisco Systems. And so I moved up from, be an admin position to an IT. And then that's when I bought my first house. And it was like, hey, I kind of like real estate. Let me get my real estate license and do it on the side, like most people say. But God said something different. I was going to do it on the side. I'm in the Silicon Valley. I'm working at Cisco Systems at this point. I'm in Silicon Valley. I'm in IT. And I was like, I'm going to get my real estate license and do it on the side, help my family. And then God said different because I got laid off. This is when the dot-com bubble burst. This is 2002. Dot-com bubble burst. I'm in IT. I'm in the tech field. Boom, job gone. I get a little bit of a severance. I think I get 3 or 4 months severance. So I come home, like we're anticipating. So my husband at the time, we're anticipating me getting laid off. So I'm like, cool, because I was commuting 2 hours every day back and forth. So I was commuting 2 hours and I was so happy because my daughter was a baby. And I was like, I finally get to be home with her. And, I was gaining weight. My daughter was fat and nappy headed in the basement. I was fat, nappy headed, going back and forth to San Jose, 2 hours in traffic. So finally get to be home with my daughter. And I get home last day of work and he's laid off too. That was gross. I have phlegm in my throat. So he's laid off too. We get home. He like looking at me like, what we gonna do? Like, what we gonna do? So I had a little bit of a severance and I got unemployment and I just went all in. When I tell you I went all in, there was no plan Bs. I was like, okay, this real estate thing, I got to make some shit shake off this real estate thing. This has to happen. I can't go back to that 2-hour commute. I can't, or I'll die. When I used to be on that train or when I would be driving, I would think every day, I'm going to die today. I couldn't. That's why I tell my daughter, let this bad job be your motivation to something greater. I don't want you to be comfortable. I was not comfortable in my job. I hated the 2-hour commute. Hated doing all that stuff. So I was like, something got to happen. So if I could show y'all the spreadsheet that I have the same spreadsheet from 2002, 2003. Okay. You see on my spreadsheet, because I document all my money every month, and I got my license in December. So really I started, so December 22. So 23 was my first real months in business. Money going out, no money coming in. January. February, money going out, no money coming in. March, money going out, no money coming in. This is on my business. So I'm putting money in my business, but I'm not getting a return. January, February, March, April, May. I'm putting money. I'm showing houses. At this time, I'm in my raggedy ass Ford Windstar minivan. I'm in my Sunfire, my Sunfire that was ashy as shit. I didn't pull up to Prudential because I was at Prudential at the time. I didn't pull up there in the Mercedes like everybody else. I didn't have the best clothes. I had heart. I had motivation. I had drive. This got to work. Something's going to bite. Some shit is going to shake. I got to make it happen because I can't get on that road no more. It was do or die for me. So I had all this money going out, but I had no money coming in. June came around. Boom, first commission. July, August, September, October, November, December. I made $70,000 in real estate commission, and that's on a 60-40 split. So I brought in over $100,000 in commission from June to December. In 6 months, I brought that money in. All the time, I was putting money in and I wasn't getting no money out. So a lot of times, many of you entrepreneurs, many of you business owners, you're not willing to put your money where your mouth is. Part of the money I was putting out there was investing in training. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to know how to do it. So I was at every single training. So if it cost me money, I didn't care because I need to know what the hell I'm doing. I need to know how to talk the talk. I needed to be in those rooms, in those places, in those spaces. Many of us, we want to be solopreneurs. We don't want to put no money in our business. We don't want to invest the money that it takes. And that's the reason why our businesses are suffering and is failing. That's the reason. So if you want to get from that cash flow quadrant of being an employee to being self-employed, because that's what I was. So if you look at the cash flow quadrant, this is Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. I was an employee. I traded my time for money when I worked at HP and when I worked at Cisco Systems. They paid me, I think I got paid $70,000 a year back then. 25, getting paid $70,000 in IT. So but I can only do as much work as they allowed me to do. I had to work as much or as little as they allowed me to do. So then when I became self-employed, oh my God, that first year I made $70,000. Great. That was the first year that I'm in real estate that I ever made under $100,000 in real estate. My first year in real estate. The hustle was real, but I always did business differently. And I sent out an email when I first got my real estate license to everybody I knew. Here's the thing. You guys have businesses and nobody knows that you're in business. You're not telling people that you're in business. You're not calling people up and saying, hey, I'm in business. You expect your family to automatically go through you. You get upset because your family is going through other people because you have not told anybody about your business. They think it's just a hobby. They don't think it's a real business. My family knew from the gate that this was a real business for me. I bothered everybody. Most people in my family did not have houses. Now everybody got a house or two. So I made sure that everybody knew about my business. And I remember I still have the email to this day. In fact, it's in my book, The Secret to Breaking the Broke Code. And I said something like, hey, everybody, just want to let you know I got my real estate license or whatever. And somebody said, okay, well, why did you get your license? And I said, I just want to help people. I just want to help people. Oh, here it is. Here's that message right here. I copied and pasted it. My email address was constance_smith@yahoo.com. And it said, hi, friends. I just want to let you all know that I just got my real estate license and I would like to help you buy or sell your home. The reason I chose to get into this field is that I wanted to help people reach their dreams. I want to help people who never thought that they could own a home. If you're in the market for a home, either buying or selling, please let me know. And then somebody emailed me back and she said, why did you get into, even though I said that, right? She said, why did you get into real estate? And I said, I just want to help people. When I was getting my house, people said I couldn't do it. People said I was too young. People said I was dumb for moving, an hour and a half away from my family. And guess what? To this day, everybody in my family lives in that same city that I moved an hour and a half away to. My mama, my daddy, brother, sister, cousins, nieces, nephews, everybody. Uncles, aunties, everybody live there now from San Jose. So I went into that and I just wanted to help. So you got, as entrepreneurs, you got to market yourself. You got to tell people I'm in business or else they're not going to know. And I don't care if you listen, this is what I tell the ladies that I coach. The rule of thumb in marketing is people need to see you at least 12 times before they buy, 12 to 15 times before they buy. You putting it out there one time and you don't get it, I ain't get no response. You put it out there 3 times, 5 times, even 10 times, and you're not getting a response. It takes people 12 to 15 times to see before they pull the trigger. They don't even think you're serious because they have not seen your business online. They don't know that you're still in business. So you have to tell people that you are in business. So going from, for me, the job where I was going to 2 hours, going to Cisco Systems every day. Then I could become self-employed. That's still a hustle. I can make as much as I want. So as an entrepreneur, because I was a self-employed entrepreneur, that could have been a side hustle if I was doing it on the side. It's something I could have done on the side, but it's something that made me a lot of money. At the height, before I opened up my business, I would probably say, and I have a spreadsheet. Let me see if I have it. Because I opened up Catalyst in 2010. So let me see what I made before I opened up at the height, because I have my totals. I got where's my totals? Oh, it's not on here. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you. I probably did that's 2004. No. That was my 2003. I should show y'all my spreadsheet from 2003. I'm gonna show it to you. Hold on. This is my 2003 spreadsheet. I'm about to show y'all. Look, watch this in real time. I didn't even mean to pull this one up, but I'm gonna show y'all in real time. So where's the spreadsheet? Window. Yeah, 2003 monthly expenses. All right, hopefully y'all can see my entire screen. Hold on. All right. So look at this. These are my expenses, y'all. I'm telling y'all true. No income, no income, no income, no income. June, no, not even in June. The income didn't come in June. Did the income come in July? Wait. No income in July? Not until September, y'all. I was wrong. I didn't get income until September. So September, October, November, and December is when I started making income, and I made $70,000 that year. And what I did, let me tell you the secret of what I did back then, is I looked at who my demographic was. So this is what you got to do. You got to understand who your customer is. My customer were people who looked like me, who thought that they couldn't get homes. I looked for programs that could help them. It's so funny because I have a client right now in Stockton, California that I'm actually working with. I only work with certain people. She was one of my first clients over 20 years ago. And she reached out to me and I said, yeah, I'll help you. I'm gonna be out there tomorrow for 5 days. And, we'll go and look at some property. I've already approved her for a loan and everything. She was one of my first clients. But what I did is people who didn't have good credit and they didn't have a down payment, I got with programs that help people with bad credit and down payment. And it was a lease to purchase program. And they would put them in this program and they'd be in there 2.5 years. And then they would convert them over to home buyers. I would get a regular commission. And that's what I did. So you got to know who your audience is. You got to know who your target audience is. Understand what their needs, what their pain points, what their desires are. And then you got to try to find a solution to the problem. I've never stopped that. Today, who is my target? Black people, specifically Black women. What are their pain points? A lot of people are tired of being sick and tired. They want to build wealth. They don't know the strategies. They need a circle. They need a community. They want to pass something on to their children, their children's children. Okay, I got a solution for you. That's how I approach any type of business venture, is I look at the problem and I try to find a solution for it. So is your business solution oriented? Are you providing a problem to a solution? And if you are, people will pay you handsomely for it. So that was my 2003, y'all. So let me tell you the most I made as just not just an entrepreneur, before I became a business owner. Let's see, 220. Let me see. The most I became before I was a business owner. Before I became the broker in the business. Now, when I became the broker, and we'll talk about the business owner in the cash flow quadrant. But let me see. So if I go to comparison, okay. So no, my spreadsheet, the same spreadsheet. I use the same spreadsheet, but it's way more complex now. So okay, I go yearly. So I open up Catalyst in 2010. My best year before I became a business owner was in 2006, actually. So I made, so 2023, I made 70,000. 2024, excuse me, 2003, I made 70,000. 2004, I made 141,000. I'm telling you all my business. 2005, I made 170,000. 2006, I made 210,000. Now, mind you, I'm still in my 20s at this point. 2007, I made 166. 2008, 147. 2009, 172. 2010, 209,000. And then, so after I became a business owner in the cash flow quadrant, that's when the money really started coming. Let me show you what. So in the cash flow quadrant, you really want to be in a place where you're owning the business. Why? Because the business is where you have a process or systems in place. It makes it gives you income flows even when you're not there. So either you have somebody else making the money for you, or you have a system of people or a product or a service that's making money for you. So now I have many revenue streams that have processes that are making money for me. But you got to get really good at one thing first. Okay? So you're, as a business owner, you have a system and it's income that flows, whether you're there or not, whether you're in Hawaii, whether you're sleeping, whether you're awake. That's what being a business owner is. That is true entrepreneurship, is when you have a system that generates income. Could be people, it could be a process, but it generates income even when you're not there. So as an independent real estate agent, I was self-employed. I was not a business owner. As doctors and lawyers that are independent, they're self-employed. They're not business owners until they own the business. And then when they walk away from the business is still making money, whether they're there or not. That's ultimately where you want to get to. Okay. So in your journey as an entrepreneur, ultimately in the cash flow quadrant, you want to get to where you're an investor. And that's where you have your money. And that's thankfully where I was able to pull money from my investments when I took a 2-year break from my business. I had other investments where my money was making money for me. So I took my money, I put it in vehicles that generated compound interest, whether it's stock, whether it's a permanent life insurance policy, whether it's other vehicles that's going to make more money for me. Okay. So ultimately that's where you want to be. But you guys got to stop. We all have to stop replacing or substituting jobs for side hustles, because a lot of times you're going to work more in a side hustle than you will on a job. You out there Ubering and that's cool as a side hustle, but that's not being an entrepreneur. That's a side hustle. That's never going to get you to wealth. I saw a video where somebody was complaining, yo, I've been working 9 hours. I made $50 doing Uber. My net was $50. I'm driving people all up and down. I'm tearing up my car. That is not entrepreneurship. Everybody sold me this idea of being an entrepreneur, and look at where I'm at. That's not entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is, or business ownership is, you taking something and you're creating a business and you have a system. Most entrepreneurs or most business owners, especially Black-owned businesses, don't have people that work for them. They're solopreneurs. So they're still in a space, in a place where if I go on vacation, who's going to do my job? Who's going to do my work? And so there's 3 things that you got to do if you really want to scale your business. You have to automate some things. So you got to have some things on automation mode. Create your SOPs, your standard operating procedures. Have something. So, and I coach business owners all the time. First thing I ask them, you got your SOPs? What's the SOP? It's your standard operating procedures. So if you're gone, you got a shot. I was just talking to a sister who has this multi-million-dollar storefront business in New York. And I was like, so you have a storefront, you're selling products and services. So do you know what's going to happen? Or what if you have to replace somebody? Do they know what do you do? Oh, I just go in there and I have to train them and I have to do this. So now you're leveraging your time. So if you have standard operating procedures in place, boom, you give them to your employee and now they know what to do. Of course you want to train them, but now you have procedures, standard operating procedures in place so that you can do it. So you want to automate. Okay. That's the first thing. The second thing you want to do is you want to eliminate the things that don't serve you, eliminate the people who maybe work for you, who may be dragging you down. One thing that we have to do is we have to hire slow and fire fast. One thing a mentor told me is that the people who get you there may not be the people to take you to the next level. And so sometimes you have to let those people go who are weighing down your business. And a lot of us are afraid to do that, but that's a must. Because if that person is just dragging you down and you can't soar in the way that you need to, and you have the ability to bring somebody on that's more efficient, that's going to help take you to the next level and scale your business, that's what you need to do. So you got to eliminate what does not serve your business. Okay. And then eliminate, automate, and then you have to delegate. That's the other thing. How do you go on vacation? How do you do all the things that you need to do? You need to have somebody in the office, somebody that's running your business, somebody somewhere that you can delegate to, that everything doesn't come on you. Before I closed my offices, I had 8 people on the front line. I was like, look, I had all these agents. Everybody want to talk to me though. Everybody's like, I want Constance. I'm like, you got 8 motherfuckers over here that you can talk to before you get to me. I want to talk to you. It's 8 people. However, I had to do that for my own peace of mind, because how am I going to grow and scale the business if I'm doing all the day-to-day, the day-to-day things that I could hire people to do? How am I going to grow and scale the business if I'm doing all the work? So you have to be able to delegate, but you got to get to that point where you could delegate. So get really clear about one thing, one idea. All of this for me came from real estate. All this for me came from me just wanting to help people. And that's the thing. Like, if you can help people, if you look at your situation where, listen, I'm helping people, and you can wake up every day and be just grateful that whatever it is that you do, you're helping somebody in some way. That's the blessing that you get. That's the motivation that'll keep you going when you get tired, because entrepreneurship is tiresome. Entrepreneurship is not for the weak. You borrowing money, like Tabitha Brown said. You can't make it. You over here, honey, get a job until you're able to get to the next level. Get a job until you're able to get over that. Okay. So that job though should not be anything comfortable. It should keep you motivated. It should keep you uncomfortable, because you got a dream that's burning inside your belly, and you need realistically some funds to make it happen. So make sure as you are developing that, you got to put the money into your business. You can't do it without putting the money. You can't do it being cheap. There is a such thing as sweat equity. But you also got to put money in that thing to make it run. Money makes the world go round. So whether it's the money that you need for your tools, your supplies, your equipment, maybe your payroll. Okay, so if you have to get some funding, do that. Invest in your education. If you're going to be the subject matter expert at something, be the subject matter expert at it. So you might fry a mean pork chop. Victoria's Kitchen, Victoria from Victoria's Kitchen in Philly. She's one of the ladies that I coach. She's in the Net 7 Collective. Can cook her ass off, could always cook her ass off. But you know what she did? She went to culinary school before she opened up, even though she could cook, before she opened up her restaurant. And she has one of the most popular restaurants in Philadelphia. She took her ass to culinary. She became an expert at what it is that she did. Okay. So even though you can cook real good, even though you know all the things, you know how this runs in and out, get that expert. Y'all know, if you follow me any amount of time, you know that I got a PhD, public high school diploma. I don't have post-secondary education. But believe me when I tell you, I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on my personal and my professional development because I knew that I had to bet on myself, that I could not go back to that 9 to 5. I couldn't do it. I was going to die. I promise you, I'm really dramatic like that, but I really felt like that. I'm going to die. Like I felt like if I stayed in California, I'm going to die. I can't do it. I got to get out of here. Like there are just certain things that I was like, I have to. So in order for me to be proficient at what I do, I got to get educated. So the first thing I got educated on was real estate. I know everything you could know about real estate. That's why I could teach it so well. That's why I'm so good at it. It's because I got the education. And what I believed in, what I did at Catalyst Real Estate Professionals, what was so important is I made sure my agents were educated. I made sure that I had top tier, top notch real estate agents, that they knew that when they went out, like people like, they would come, they would say, well, why would they choose me? There's 50,000 other agents. Because you the shit. It is a privilege and an honor to work with you because you know what the hell you're doing. You're going to look out for their best interest. You're going to negotiate on their behalf. You're going to do all these things. They should mess with you. They should F with you. Okay. So that's the thing. The first thing was me investing in the education of my real estate business. And then me investing in being a leader. I was in leadership programs. I was in this Nehemiah Emerging Leadership Program. I've traveled across the country learning under Les Brown, under Lisa Nichols, under I had all of these trainings, just been all over the country, just pouring into myself. What can I learn next? What can I learn next? And this right here has millions of dollars worth of game in it. It really does, because I've had this phone, my iCloud, I think since 2013, and you're going to see notes in here from trainings that I've had from all the way back then. But that's another thing that people aren't willing to do. So they're not willing to invest their money in themselves, in their business. They're not willing to invest the money in themselves so that they can become proficient and subject matter experts. And you have to be willing to do that if you want to be great. You got to be. So, leveraging your job is paramount. Is paramount to becoming a successful entrepreneur. If you have a savings, you have to invest your savings. Maybe you have something where you have a 401k and it can help you to live a little bit, and maybe you're investing in your business. Something that you can do, but you got to put your money where your mouth is. I'm sorry, ain't nothing in this life for free. Okay? So whoever's training you got to take, whatever school, whatever business development you got to go through, whatever MBA program, which I really don't think is really going to help your business, but some people do. One of the ladies I coach, she was like, I'm going to wait until I get my MBA before I launch my, I was like, what? Oh, bad. I talked about her so bad. What are we talking about here? What? But that was just her fear of leaping. That had nothing to do with, she was just, let me do the one more thing, and then one more thing, and one more thing. And what you need is to be standing on that cliff and me to kick your ass off and make you fly. And that's what I do. Just kick them off the cliff, make their ass fly. That's what I do. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say about this whole idea of Tabitha Brown telling entrepreneurs, yes, you don't want to go in there nappy-headed, fat, living in the basement. Okay? Because you ain't doing nothing but being a burden on your mama and everybody else. You don't want to be her. But you also don't want to be comfortable in your job to where you just going to be there and, and ride till the wheels fall off, because at any given moment, ladies and gentlemen, and we know this because of what happened with the 300,000 Black women that have lost their jobs. We know this, that at any given moment, your job can be taken away from you. So you should be selling something. You should have some kind of other revenue stream, something else going on. Your money need to be making money somehow until you're able to fully do it. And then when you do it, you got to invest in it. You got to run a business and not a business. Y'all, please, Black people, please, 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 please run a business and not a business. And there's a difference. And some of us are running businesses and not businesses. And I admonish you to make sure that you are running it optimally, because here's the thing. And this is what I know for sure. If you come to Catalyst, our offices were the bomb. Okay. Clean, beautiful, decorated nicely. People in the front greeted you well. Like, it was beautiful. The ambiance, the energy was great. And because of what I know is people already, when they come in, they see all these Black people, they're already skeptical. They are. Unfortunately, Black people judge us, white people judge us, everybody judges us more harshly than anybody else. So I knew in order to compete, I had to be better. And so, you got to make sure that you run faster, jump higher, work harder. You know what I'm saying? It's exhausting, but that's the lot that God had given us as Black people. And I'm okay with that. I'm gonna run faster. I mean, what did Will Smith say? He on that treadmill, the guy next to him, he gonna die beating the dude on the treadmill next to him. I mean, you have to be that relentless in your pursuit of success, of greatness, of leaving an impact. You have to be relentless in it. So you can't be half-stepping. Don't run no businesses. Run a business. Become a business owner and not a serial entrepreneur. Get very clear at one thing. Very clear at one thing. And then you could spread those things off to other things. So now I always wear some of my t-shirts, but I have t-shirts I sell. And that came out of somebody saying, hey, you should do t-shirts. Okay, that's another revenue stream that I just make money from, that people go to the website and they see and they want to buy a t-shirt. Cool. I got books. That's my effort in wanting to help people. Here, you want to know the blueprint? Get my books. That makes money. I don't even promote my books, but it makes me money every month. Okay, not enough for me to say, okay, live off of, nothing like that, but it's another revenue stream. So there's all of these other things that I've done that you too can do. And even the women inside my cohort, they're writing books, and I'm so proud of them. They're, starting the podcast. They're educating people. They're leading people. They're pouring into people, things that they're doing that they never thought that they would do. And I think that is so dope and amazing. And so, if you're a Black woman or a Black woman, I definitely want to encourage you to join us in Net 7 Collective and Net 7 Nation. And you can go to my website. You go to my website, ConstanceCarter.com. If you're interested in any of the programs that I have, go to ConstanceCarter.com. You go to go there for any of the programs, Net 7 Collective, Net 7 Nation, the Grow Your Money Club. And in case you don't know about the Grow Your Money Club, that's why I come live here every day. I'm here to teach and reach to you. And so the Grow Your Money Club is my online portal that I make money at, because I'm teaching my intellectual property, all the things that I know, I'm teaching it to other people. You could do the same thing, but here's what the Grow Your Money Club is. Have you joined the Grow Your Money Club yet? If not, why not? The Grow Your Money Club is a comprehensive program designed to take you through the complete wealth building journey. We don't just offer random courses, we guide you along a clear path, starting with fixing your credit and becoming a certified credit expert, to building your business, increasing your cash flow, diversifying your portfolio, and ultimately letting your money work for you. With over 30 trainings designed to increase your net worth, you get to either purchase the trainings individually or go through the 12-month roadmap. Here are just a few of the courses. From campus to cash flows. This is teaching your children to become real estate investors. The Wealth Map training shows you how to eliminate your debt, increase your credit, and diversify your revenue streams. You can learn to write your book using ChatGPT. Learn how to build your online community. What about 8 ways to make money using AI? Oh, and here's 7 online revenue streams to fund your $1 million dream. How about learning how to purchase tax deeds or land banks? What about getting started in government contracting? If you're a rookie, the Real Estate for Rookies training has everything you need. The Business Blueprint training will help you build your business foundation, get business credit, get business funding, and learn how to pay yourself so that you can scale your business to the next level. Or perhaps you want to create jaw-dropping video content using CapCut, Midjourney, and ChatGPT. There are so many trainings and master classes within the Grow Your Money Club, and I also drop 1 new training per month. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity to invest in yourself, because guess what? You are your biggest commodity. You are your biggest investment. Join the Grow Your Money Club today. So listen, if you want to know any of those things, and there's so many more, go to the growyourmoneyclub.com, go to growyourmoney.club, go to growyourmoney.club and take a look at all the trainings. You could you could pay for a la carte training, how to write your book or whatever, Real Estate for Rookies, or you could you can be a part of the community and do the monthly and take all of the training. Like, I would suggest you do all of the training, but go to Grow Your Money. Do I have the growyourmoney.club? Growyourmoney.club. Okay. So let me just look at some of the comments before I get up out of here. Let me see. So I see Raymia. What's up, Raymia? Raymia said, fashion and not my nonprofit is funded by my job until I get some sponsorship dollars. So Ramia is also a chapter leader inside Net 7 Nation for the DC chapter. So if you are in or around DC and you are a Black woman, you need to join the Net 7 Nation. And Ramia and I have been talking about these sponsorship dollars because Ramia throws a dope runway for the cure. Another, and I'll show it when it gets a little bit closer to time. I went to the one last year, and she does a dope fashion show, runway show with all the who's there, right? And I was like, there's no way that you're funding this whole thing. She's funding the whole thing. There's no way, because it's huge. It's in DC. And it's huge and it's beautiful. It was beautiful. So you definitely need to be having sponsorship dollars, especially for a great cause like cancer, you know? So that's what she said. But she said, I will have a backup plan to the backup plan if I get fired. That's what I'm talking about. I agree. A job can help fund a business on a short-term basis or until the business is fully up and running. Mark said, according to the census, there are only 109,000 Black businesses with receipts. There are not 2 million businesses. There is just a plethora of people filing for what's that? Mark Cummings says, our real problem as Black people is racism. Nobody wants to hire us. Banks don't want to loan us capital. Black people are the poor segment of society and Black banks are the least capitalized. But here's the thing. I know that only 3% of Black people get like SBA funding. I've gotten SBA funding, and I'm not talking about your EIDL loan. I've gotten an SBA loan to purchase like a building, a real estate, commercial building. And the problem is most Black people aren't filing their taxes right. They don't have their stuff in order. And it takes a lot in order to get SBA funding. It takes a lot to get funding from venture capitalists. You have to have your shit together, Black people. And there is a lot of racism, but there's some things that aren't race-based, and your ability to get funding can be based upon how you do your business. Yeah. So we got to look at that too. So we got to take some accountability when it comes to that. Yeah, there's tons of racism out there. You know, I'm the first one to holler, but some of it is on us because I've been able to do it, but I had to make sure my shit was in order. I had to make sure my taxes showed some things, you know? Deborah Wilwin said, learn more is what we need to do. We always got to pour into ourselves. Always. Terry said, I'm in that self-employed quadrant. So now you got to leverage that to become a business owner, Terry. Yes, it was largely because there's more fake job offers than a real one. I don't know what you're talking about. It's good money, definitely a lot of work involved. Everything depends on me. And if you don't work, you don't eat. That's the only thing is you got to make some shit shake. That's the thing about being self-employed. You got to make some shit shake. Monique Brown said, can you help me? I absolutely can. Go to my website, constancecarr.com. Unless you have a government contract or contracts with Fortune 500 companies, you can't depend on selling directly to clients to grow Black business. Being aspirational is merely a pipe dream. I don't agree with that, Mark, at all. I believe that you can start. I've been able to do it, and I've seen several entrepreneurs do it. So it's definitely not a pipe dream. I think that those fundamental things that I said in the beginning about investing in yourself, investing in your business, making sure you market it correctly, make sure that, you know, everybody knows about your business. I think there's business foundational issues that need to be addressed more than anything. And that's the problem. That's the real problem. I believe that Black people want to do business with Black people. There's enough money out there. You know, we got $2 trillion in spending power. You know this. We want to do business with Black owned businesses. We just don't have business to do business with. And I do believe is once we get up, we get our business right, we get our business too legit to quit, people are going to spend money. We have enough money in our community to sustain our businesses. We've had it. We just bought into this rugged Eurocentric capitalistic idealism that we got to operate like that. And we don't. The way that we're going to close the wealth gap and the way that we're going to make it in this world is going to be together through collective economics. And so that's why we can't depend on other entities. We got to depend on ourselves, but you've got to invest in yourself, people. You said I was balling. Oh, you see, when I was in my 20s, I did leverage a job before being a full-time notary public. I had to work a lot of overtime though. Yeah. Crop top. I admire your work. I run Infinite Visions Collective. We specialize in helping channels expand reach and revenue through strategy and creative direction. Amen. Tamisha said, good stuff to soak in today as always and appreciate you immensely. She said, thank you, Constant. You forgot the CE on the end. This has been enlightening. I hope you join Net 7 Collective or Net 7 Nation. I hope you, as a Black woman, can join us. I never learned anything from you. Now I'm a guy saying that. Ooh, we got some men. All right, cool. Say it's a business, not a business. If you didn't learn anything else today from me, make sure that you don't run your business like a business. And I'm gonna see you tomorrow. I'm headed out of town, y'all, but I'll be on tomorrow. And Dr. Jones is going to be with me. She's going to be rocking with me. We're going to talk about how to increase your health, because your health is a necessary part of your wealth. We can't be making money and all of our shit is fucked up. Sorry for saying that. And Daddy, if you watch it, I'm sorry. God bless y'all. I'll see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel.